So I've been on this cruise, and it's been pretty nice. I've been with my family. It's been good to be around my family. Good to be around loved ones. There's just a lot of shit going on. You know, Brianna came back into my life. She called me. She's like, "I can't do this. This is so weird living without you. Like, I need to see you." And I literally like dropped everything I did and went and saw her. And she ended up staying the night at my house, and then the next night, and then the next night, and just like, I was very apprehensive of letting her back into my life because the way she left was so abrupt, and just didn't feel like that of somebody who loved me would have done. And then slowly over those days that she was with me, she became more and more avoidant. She's basically telling me that a lot of things that I did she wasn't attracted to, and that she's unsure if she'll ever be able to trust me or feel that way again. As I'm sitting there loving her because I love her. And so just like having the person you love come back and then seeing them slowly like fade and show you that they just don't feel the same way anymore was really painful. But in a way it did help with closure. Try and pull you guys closer a little bit. In a way it did help with closure. I will say, like, before I didn't know how she felt or what really happened. I thought she cheated on me. And after talking to her, I mean, she did take a guy's snap the night before we broke up, but she swore up and down she didn't do anything with him, and that wasn't the reason why me and her broke up. And she'd been feeling that way for months, which I do believe. I trust her on that. And it's just, you know, it's a really hard thing to accept that, like, I was falling more and more in love with her. I thought we were getting past certain things, and certain things that happened between us, especially us getting physical with each other, like, she just couldn't get past, and I don't blame her at all for that. I mean, things were rotten. Things were so toxic between us, and I was a huge part of that, you know? And that's something that I just have to accept, that, like, actions do have consequences, and, like, our behavior towards each other was not acceptable. And I did some not acceptable things, she did some not acceptable things, and there might not ever be repair from that. And sadly, my entire heart belongs to her. I still feel that, like, even when meditating, I feel this, like, string. It almost feels like a string from my heart to hers. It's just like, I feel tied, I feel connected to her, and I'll just let that play its course. I'm not going to try and fight it. I'm not going to try and resist that feeling, because, you know, it's such an interesting thing. Like, the more you fight something, the more you try to resist, it just doesn't work out. And so that was the thing, is like, I was like, I'm going to get you flowers on Valentine's Day. And she's like, "Oh my God, that's so sweet." And she's like, "So you're going to have somebody come to my house?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll have somebody deliver it." So I texted her February 13th, right before Valentine's Day, and I was like, "Hey, delivery will be there tomorrow before 11 a.m. And she's like, "What the fuck? Like, don't do that. I didn't think you were actually gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh, my bad. Like, my bad, shorty." And right when she left my house the day before, I was like, "I love you." She's like, "I love you too." So things were just super confusing at the end, and like, I definitely was still very in love with her, and I think her avoidance and how she felt apprehensive about rekindling our connection, like, it's just really hard for her, and I don't blame her at all for that. And then I'm on the ship, and she's just like, "This is final. Like, I need you to promise me you're gonna leave me alone and stay out of my life." And so that's what I gotta do. I can't really fight that. I can't really argue with that. You know, that's what she wants. I'm not gonna push that envelope, because what good is that gonna do? It's just gonna make her hate me even more. And so I've been sad. You know, this whole cruise, like, if you look, this whole ship I'm on this cruise ship. It's very nice, very beautiful. This whole cruise I was supposed to take with her. And so, like, pretty much the entire time I've been here, all I've been thinking about is, like, damn, she really would have loved this, you know? And so it's been hard, but I think it's for the best, for at least for now. Like, I hope one day me and her can figure things out, but I'm gonna become a man I need to be anyway, and it doesn't really matter if she comes back or not. You know, like, that's, if it's meant to be and it's right, then it's meant to be and it's right, and if it's not, then, like, why hold on to that? Why hold on to the toxicity that we had at the end? Like, my needs weren't getting met at all for a very long time in that relationship. I would ask for space, and she would corner me, in rooms, and because of my PTSD and things that I'm not going to talk about today, you know, I'll say very briefly, I was abused for probably 9 years of my life, pretty bad, like, fists, whole nine, from like a 6'3" dude. He was my stepfather. And yeah, I just, you know, I really need space. When things get tense between me and people, I need that separation to like calm down, especially if things are getting heated and names are getting called. And she wouldn't give me that space, and I would freak out. I would freak out pretty bad. I would yell at her. I'd call her a bunch of mean names, and that wasn't cool at all. And it just created this back and forth resentment towards each other, and it tarnished our connection. And I did a lot of avoidance shit at the beginning of our relationship. Like, I asked for an open relationship, and then she was like, sure, just don't fuck any of your exes. And the first thing I do is fuck one of my exes. The first night she says, don't do it. Like, just such avoidance shit. And I feel like a vampire. Like, I feel like I bit her with the avoidance. And then as I slowly changed, and I changed my heart, I changed everything about the way I showed up in relationships because of how much she begged me to. And I read books, and I went to therapy, and I did all this shit. And I slowly started becoming the man I need to be. And as I was doing that, and I kept making mistakes, she slowly was falling out of love with me. And so it just created this very tough thing where at the last moments of our relationship, like, sure, we were struggling, but like, I was talking to my friend in New York about building a wedding ring and like going to that place with it, you know, and she was like, how the fuck do I leave this guy? And so, yeah, it's a really hard thing, especially when you think your life is, like, this is the first woman I ever saw, like, having kids and a family with. So it's just, it's a lot, but I can't let this deter me from being who I'm meant to be, you know? And I feel like it has for a long time. I feel like the past 2.5 years of my life, like, I've fully put myself and my growth to the side, which is part of why we fell apart the way we did. And so obviously that's what this whole channel is about, as you guys know. I just want to reiterate some things and explain kind of where I'm at. And I've been meditating a bunch. I've been back in therapy. I've been making a lot of music, as I'll post soon. This is going to come out before the video of me making a song, and then the song's going to drop with it. And yeah, I just have a lot of cool business ideas. The whole time I've been on this vacation, I've been in the gym. I've been meeting my calories, probably way over my calories, but I've been hitting my protein too. So kind of like a dirty bulk, but trying to be clean. Like today I had fucking 3 omelets and 2 protein shakes, 3 omelets, and I had chicken breast and a salad for dinner. So I'm trying to like stay clean. I drank a little bit on this trip. I'm not really feeling drinking. Like, me and drinking never had a problem, but it's just like, I don't think that's helping me at all. And so yeah, I'm just trying to find my way. Like, it's, you know, it's a hard thing, being off nicotine, being off weed, being off coke. Like, those things are hard. And especially like the absence of love when you really love somebody is like, it's a drug within itself. Like the comfort, I mean, we were so codependent on each other for so long that like anytime I have a problem, I like, the first thing I do is like think about texting her or calling her, and like I can't, you know. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. But life goes on, and I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to explain, you know. If you're going through this shit, like, it does get better, and you have to remember things happen for a reason. Like, I think if me and her had continued the way we had, things would have only gotten worse. I don't think we could have solved it from that point, you know. And that's like a really tough thing to accept. You want to fix things and you want things to go in a healthy way, but I just don't think me and her were at a place where we could have done that without intervention of some sort. And that's what I was trying to tell her when she came back. She's like, I don't know how we're going to fix this. I'm like, Brianna, this is the best thing that could have happened. Realistically, like, we needed to separate. We needed to grow as individuals. And I told her it's going to take me 6 months or a year until I'm ready to enter something back with her, because I love her and I want to do this right. And so regardless of if she comes back or not, I'm going to build myself into the man I need to be. Hopefully she comes back one day and looks and sees that I meant it. And, you know, it's just, it's a lot. But I know chasing other women isn't going to help me grow at all. I know chasing substance or something to fill the void isn't going to help me at all. So it's okay for me to feel this hole in my heart. You know, it's made me make some good music. It's made me think about how I showed up for her. Whereas I could go, every other woman I've ever been with, I've been like her loss, and I've moved on, and it's just kind of perpetuated a problem of avoidance I have within myself. It's tough to acknowledge that shit, you know? And so I'm just really trying to face it. Face some shit I've been avoiding for probably my entire adult life. And, you know, I lost some friends during this whole process, and that was hard. Because I always based myself on my friends, and I'd go to the ends of the earth for my friends. And so when I hear that one of them was like, I don't care if I never talk to Nate again, but he's telling me we're cool, like, damn, bro. Really? You know, like, I would have fucking dove in front of a bus for you. Like, so-called friends. And, like, I just need to be surrounded by people who have actual ambitions like I do, and life goals. And I think that the universe and Brianna unintentionally, like, just put me on this path where, like, a complete correction of course, you know, because I really was on a bad course. I was hanging around people who, like, had no real life goals from anything I could observe. And I would talk to them, and one of my friends was like, Dan, well, sometimes I wish I didn't smoke weed and I like went to college and did something with my life. I was just like horrified by that. I'm like, dude, you could still do something. Like, I'm 26 and I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, he's 25, but it's like, bro, we can still figure this shit out. We don't gotta just be, oh fuck, my life's fucked up, like, you know. And I just hated that. And so unintentionally, I think this is probably the biggest blessing I've had in a very, very long time, because it shook me, and I think I needed to be shook. In a lot of ways, like, I was so codependent on other people for my growth, my happiness, my businesses, everything I wanted to do. I wanted to involve a friend or involve other people. My music career, I wanted to always involve other people. Can't do that. It's just me. It's you guys, and that's it. That's all this show can be. Like, it sucks, because I want to uplift other people, but there's this great analogy of like a dude standing on a chair, and he's like, the guy on the ground is like, try and pull me up. And the guy on the chair is trying to pull him up, and he's super heavy, and he can't. And the guy's like, okay, now try and pull me down. And he yanks him off the chair, and he's like, you see how hard it is to uplift other people, but how quickly you can drag them down. And I think about that a lot. Like, my friends, I always tried to uplift them, and what ended up happening is they just dragged me down. Like, I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't, like, it was comfortable to be around them, but it wasn't fulfilling, and it wasn't growing in the way that I want, which then made me show up less for myself, and then I turned to drugs more. And like, I'm not trying to blame anyone else, because that was all my decision, but it's like, it's interesting to look at how a dynamic affects you, you know? And so yeah, a lot of yapping, but I just wanted you guys to like hear how I'm thinking and hear what I'm feeling, because this is the journey. This is the life journey, and like, I've been trying to meet my water intake. I've been trying to take better care of my skin and my health. I've been trying to figure out what streams of revenue I can build to kind of lift myself into the position that I want to be. And as I get more and more sober, and as I get more and more clear-minded, like, trying to always kind of redial in the vision so it stays constantly clear, rather than, you know, like, it's super clouded one time and then super clear another time. Like, I just want to really find my way here. And so the plan is still next year, probably gonna move, and in the meantime, just kind of fixing up all my things and getting my money right, and getting my head right, and getting my body right, getting my spirit right, raising my vibration, and just staying the course, man. It's definitely a challenge, but I think everything in life worthwhile is challenging. And this is like a lonely chapter. It's supposed to be a lonely chapter, and as much as I could try and fight it and go surround myself with other people, that's just a band-aid for a much larger problem, and I need to face it this time. And so I gotta learn to not count on a woman. I gotta learn to not count on friends. And I gotta confide in myself and give that energy that I would give outwards to me, which is hard. It feels selfish, but I think it's like, what is Nietzsche, the philosopher? I think he would say that it's taught to be selfish, because it's actually like, there's some people who can't do that, and they don't want to feel bad for their shortcomings, rather than it actually being something bad to do for yourself. And I kind of subscribe to that, you know, where it's like paying attention or fulfilling yourself. Like, realistically, if I want to, eventually I want to start a nonprofit for kids, right? And if I build myself and I put this energy into myself a year faster than I would have, that's 200 more kids I can help down the road. So is it really selfish? You know what I mean? And I try to remind myself just to every day to wake up, reinstate my vision, reinstate who I am, remind myself that I made mistakes and I put hands on a woman and she put hands on me. But that doesn't define who I am, and I've never acted like that before, and I'll never act like that again. It was a lot. And I really am ashamed that, like, she slapped me and I slapped her back. I should have never done that. Or, you know, she's fighting with me and won't stop, and I'm like, please, I need to sleep, and then I set a timer, and when the timer runs out, I start dragging her off the bed. She screams and I let go, but like, I can't believe that I did that. I can't believe I ever became that person in a relationship, especially to the woman I loved the most. It's so, like, it is so fucked up. But instead of focusing on that and using it to beat myself up, I'm using that as fuel to never, ever, ever, ever allow myself to be like that. And part of it was the drugs, part of it was my mental health, part of it was my lack of sleep. But at the end of the day, like, I should have walked away. But what would happen, and I'm not trying to justify any of this, but just so you guys understand, like, the feeling like I could walk away when somebody has blocked me from leaving rooms, it just got deteriorated. And she'd been hitting me for like 7 months, and finally I just fucking snapped. And I'm really, really, really ashamed of it. But I'm not gonna beat around the bush or act like I didn't do that, because I did. And it's a fucking really tough pill to swallow, because I've always been a defender of people who are defenseless. And I caved to some really negative energy. It's very out of my character. And she's looking at me like, I've never seen that side of you, and I don't know if I could trust you. And I agree with her, but the one thing I don't like about this whole dynamic is she's taking very little accountability for hitting somebody who's abused, and what that does psychologically to somebody. And, you know, kind of as I zoom out more, I realized that it was very much both of us and how we played a role in the dynamic. Because I've had other women hit me, never laid a hand on a woman, you know? But just the prolonged breaking down of who I am, it really sucked. It really sucked, especially to the person I love the most. I betrayed her, and she betrayed me, and all I can do is be a better man every day and face that rather than running from it. If I ran from it, I could go find another woman, lie to her, never tell her about this, and then never have it happen again, and I'd be fine. But I want to know if me and her ever figured it out and she ever acted that way to me again, there's zero chance of me behaving that way. Because I love her and I want her. And even if I didn't, that's something I should solve within myself. That's not something I should run from, right? You know? And it's very hard to be honest about these things because it's shameful. I'm ashamed of how I acted. I'm ashamed of how I behaved. But that's real. And that's what this whole thing is about. This is the accountability of who I am. And that's why I didn't tell anyone who I know about this page, because this is to the ether. This is to everyone. If this shows up on your feed, bro, there's a reason. And there's something hopefully I'm saying that you can gain from this in my experience. And like, not in like no cocky shit or arrogance, or I don't know what would be a good word, egotistical shit, like, oh, I'm going to give you something to benefit from. But like, if there's anything you resonate with, just know it gets better, and it's okay to walk away from something that is not serving you. And like, I prayed for Brianna to find clarity on the situation and how she felt, because I didn't want her back if she didn't feel like this was right for her, or if this wasn't right for her. I hope she would walk away and find something that serves her better. And I don't know if that's the case, or if she just can't handle me being still in love with her for now. But I also don't believe in giving up on things. So like, people might be like, why are you still hung up on this chick if it was so bad? It's like, she made me face the darkest aspects of myself, and vice versa. And that's honestly a gift, because I could go my entire life avoiding this, and I'm growing in a whole bunch of other ways. But am I really facing the root of what is making me sick, of what is really hurting my soul? And now I'm facing the root, and I'm like, wow, this is cathartic. And I never would have came to this point if I wasn't in a dynamic the way I was with her. Not to justify anything that happened. All that shit was fucked, and I take responsibility for that. But I'm just saying, like, there's something to somebody who makes you look at your darkest aspects. And the amount of love I've had for her, I've never felt for another person. And I'm not ready to give up on that fully. I'll leave a space for her in my heart for a very long time if she decides to come back and look at how I change over the years. And if she doesn't, it's totally fine. It means it wasn't for her. But I know what I want, and it's her. And so, you know, well, everything's a push and pull. It's not just, oh, finite, this happened, wipe your hands, it's done. Because it's so easy to do that, especially in today's day and age. Like, think about it. Imagine you were in a village in like the 1400s, and you have like fucking 100 people in your village. If you and Elga are dating and Elga has a problem, like, you and Elga are going to figure it out. Elga doesn't have Tinder. Elga isn't going to go fly to Miami and get digged down by like 10 BBCs at once. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's such a different world than the one that was originally here. And like, I truly believe in seeing things through. I think about my family and like my dad's marriage, and like, he was an asshole to my stepmother, and she forgave him, and they've been happily married for over a decade since that incident. And that's love. Love is showing up for somebody even when it's hard. And I have love for this woman. So even though things are hard, I still want to fix things, and I still want to face these problems and solve this. I don't want to just wipe my hands and move on like so many people would do. I feel like that's an avoidant behavior. And I'm trying to be secure. I'm trying to face the music, face the problems, and become a better man. So I'm just saying this because it might not work out. It might not be her. But even if it's not, what am I? Oh no, I fixed my problems anyway. Like, it's not a negative. And so leaving the space for somebody, just in a way, like, I hope they come back. If they don't, it's leaving space so I focus on myself instead of other people. It's not a negative at all. And so it's just kind of where I'm at with her. And then, you know, as far as my own mental health, I mean, the loneliness is the only hard part. But I find more and more that it's becoming easier. It's like a muscle. If you aren't social, you know, then you have to build a muscle of being social. I've always been a social creature. I have to build the muscle of being alone. And I also do have to remind myself to be social a little bit. Like, I'm probably going to go out to the bars a couple times because I just don't want to lose my social energy. I don't want to become a recluse. But I don't have any interest in drinking, and it feels like a fucking adult daycare going to a bar, I swear to God. Like, it's just not for me. Like, oh yeah, hi person I saw, because I live on a small island too, so like, I'll see people and it'll be like, hi person I haven't seen since 6th grade, like, how you doing? You know, and then, oh wow, yeah, we should hang out sometime, and then never hang out with them. It's just weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so this is a super long yap video, but I just wanted to talk to you guys and give you guys an update on where I'm at, what's going on in my life, you know, the whole nine, just so you can see that like things are thinging over here. And I have a lot of work to do. I'm not trying to shy away from it. I started putting all of this in a book. I'll talk about the book soon. But it's basically like, it's subdivided into different categories. And so one of the categories is like my to-do lists and goals and things that I need to work on. I have affirmations in the front of the book. And then I have a whole section on YouTube and my businesses and what I'm trying to build. And right now I'm trying to think of other revenue generation streams. I really want to do a series called Lambo to Lollipop. I want to trade a fucking lollipop to a Lamborghini. I think I can do it. And yeah, just like trying to sharpen the stick every single day. Put a bean in the jar every single day. Whatever metaphor you want to use to signify growth. Like, I want to start becoming the man I was meant to be. And I used other people as an excuse to prevent myself from doing what I needed to. Probably because I was scared of the work. And so, oh no, this person's doing this thing to me. Oh, I can't do this now. I can't do this now. You know what I mean? Instead of actually being like, oh, I am preventing myself from doing this. I'm not setting healthy boundaries with people and pushing them far enough away to actually focus on the things I need to. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I have a lot of like self-image things to fix. I definitely harbor a lot of blame for how things ended and losing the love of my life. Oh my god. You know, that's definitely a tough pill to swallow, but I'm not gonna be a fucking bitch about it. I'm not gonna recluse and just be like, oh, I was only her, and then like drink alone in my room. Like, who's that helping? You know? Of course I want to. I really want to be self-deprecating. Oh my god. But I'll leave it to the music. I'll pour into a creative energy of things and ways to express myself about the situation, and we'll go from there. And so, I love you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day. If you made it this far, please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. The next one will probably be a video of me making a song that I really like. I made a banger, and then I'll post the banger as soon as I get home, so it'll be out before the 1st of March. Have a good night, everyone.